Y a partir de este momento, Montgomery al Día. Un programa presentado por el Condado de Montgomery con el objetivo de mantener a la población latina informada sobre todo lo que acontece en nuestro condado. Un espacio informativo para que usted obtenga acceso directo a los servicios de su gobierno local. Aquí da inicio Montgomery al Día. Queda con ustedes la presentadora de este programa y portavoz hispana del Condado de Montgomery, Lorna Virgilí.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias por acompañarnos todavía. Acá continuamos. Estamos en Ocean City, en el centro de convenciones, porque continuamos esta cobertura en vivo y en directo también desde la conferencia anual del verano de la Asociación de Condados del Estado de Maryland. 24 condados aquí representados y, por supuesto, Montgomery County presente. ¿Y quién mejor que para representar este condado que nuestro ejecutivo, el señor Marc Elrich? Buenas tardes, ejecutivo. ¿Cómo está?
Buenas tardes.
¿Cómo ha estado?
Estoy bien, un poco cansado.
Me imagino, porque ha sido bien ocupado, super busy.
Sí.
Muchos
reuniones.
Reuniones. Empezaste, started.
Yeah. A las 8 por la mañana.
Ajá.
Y continúa
hasta tarde.
5, 6.
Ajá.
Y otras actividades después.
Sí. Bueno, but you're used to this. You're used to kind of, this is what you do pretty much every day.
Yes, it's a lot
Early
like
morning to late in the day. So
yes, nothing's different.
Nada es diferente. Es más o menos lo que hace. El día muy activo, but you've been here for like 3 days.
Yeah.
You staying through the weekend as well?
No.
Okay.
Go back after the governor speaks tomorrow.
Okay. Mañana se regresa a nuestro condado de Montgomery porque la clausura de esta convención pues es precisamente con un almuerzo, una presentación y un discurso por parte del nuevo gobernador del estado de Maryland, Wes Moore. Así que él se queda para eso, pero ya después regresa a nuestro condado. Sumamente ocupado. It's been very busy. A lot of people navigating this place. About 3,000 people are here representing all counties as well as the new administration. So you've been in touch with a lot of people from the new administration, secretaries from different departments for the new administration. So what have you been talking about?
Well, we met with Mr. Wiedefeld, who's Secretary of Transportation, and talked a lot about the obvious, the elephant in the room, what's going to happen on the Beltway in 270 and the bridge. They haven't made any decisions yet. They're still in the process of analyzing options, but one good thing was they said definitely they're starting at the American Legion Bridge, and they're submitting to the federal government for funds to help pay for the bridge, which is what should have been done 4 years ago. We wouldn't be in a mess.
Never too late. Never too late.
So we're happy to see them doing that, and they're then going to look at how they deal.
Let me go ahead and translate that about that. Muchas reuniones ha tenido con diferentes secretarios de la nueva administración del gobernador Wes Moore, y importante, una de ellas, el encuentro, la reunión con el secretario de Transporte, Wiedefeld, que como saben era el que estaba encargado del metro, y lo obvio, hablar sobre la construcción, las reparaciones de la carretera 270, el Beltway, 4 años sin decisión sobre ese proyecto. Se han estado viendo las opciones por parte del estado de Maryland y comenzar con el puente, el American Legion Bridge, como saben, que une a Virginia y al estado de Maryland con un enfoque de fondos federales.
So they're going to focus, like I said, starting at the bridge and then moving north from there, which makes a lot of sense because you want to deal with the bottlenecks at the end of the journey and then see how much it frees up the stack of cars behind it. And they're looking at comprehensively dealing with 270 from where it merges with the Beltway all the way up to Frederick, which I think is really important. The previous governor kind of stopped their work halfway through Montgomery County and had, significant amounts of roadway where they weren't going to make any improvements for years. So I like this approach better.
Okay. El enfoque va a ser pues comenzar con el puente, como mencionamos, a ver qué tal eso mejora el paro, la congestión vehicular, a ver si es una solución, y después un enfoque, la carretera I-270, comenzando donde está adjunta al Beltway, a la 495 hacia Frederick, y obviamente eso es un proyecto que con la administración previa del gobernador en el estado de Maryland pues no se pudo adelantar, y básicamente pues eso that was one of your something that you focused on for a big part of your first term as county executive, and are you hopeful now?
I am. I mean,
okay.
I think he's going to be able to demonstrate that all of us were serious about trying to figure out how to solve the problem. We just didn't want to solve it in a way that was unnecessarily expensive for taxpayers.
Okay. Y que sí, se sienta bastante optimista porque se ha dado cuenta quizás esta administración de que queda demostrado que estamos serios en términos de que esto pueda prosperar, y no se pudo hacer pues con la previa administración. Así que that's good news. Optimistic about that. What other topics did you address with any of the secretaries?
Both the labor secretary.
Labor.
We talked about things like workforce training, but we also talked about making sure that contractors are paying the proper wages to their workers. This continues to be a problem where these jobs are done under regulations, and the regulations stipulate what the wages have to be, and there are contractors who are paying below what the wages are supposed to be.
Especially in Montgomery County. Let me translate that. También se han reunido con el secretario del Trabajo del Estado de Maryland, y relacionado con el desarrollo para el desarrollo laboral, adiestramiento de desarrollo laboral, pero un tema que se fue abordado fue los contratistas si están pagando los salarios que dictan las leyes. Problemas con las regulaciones y el hecho de que se está pagando menos. Do we have that issue ongoing in Montgomery County?
There may be, and there's
okay, but with state contracts?
No, not with state contracts. These would be, well, they could be state contracts, where if they happen here and the workforce or the companies are here, obviously we're the ones that, well, it affects us. The state's problem is that they got stripped of all their staff in the other administration.
Okay.
So they have no investigators.
Okay.
So they don't have anybody to go out and do spot checks or interview people or do any of the things they need to do.
Okay.
And so we're looking at ways to help them get the staff they need to do proper investigations in the county.
Ok, perfecto. Ahora sí entiendo muy bien. Básicamente contratos quizás del Estado y los contratistas pues no pagando los salarios requeridos bajo esos contratos a los empleados, y el impacto que hemos tenido ha sido básicamente que el Estado ha perdido pues muchos de sus empleados, que eran los investigadores, los que iban a verificar, los que iban a investigar y a entrevistar, y ahora pues el condado de Montgomery quiere colaborar con el Estado para ayudar a ver cómo podemos lograr que sean esas investigaciones para que de hecho nuestra fuerza laboral, se está creada la fuerza laboral que está en Montgomery, pueda recibir los salarios pertinentes. And the answer to that was, we're going to work with you guys in Montgomery County?
They will see what they're allowed to do and how we can cooperate. We both are interested, and interestingly in the county, this was an issue for some of our builders, because, builders who pay...
When you say builders, like construction companies?
Yeah, construction companies, because we have companies that pay people the wages they're supposed to get, and the benefits, and they report everybody. We have companies that everybody is doing the job they're qualified to do, and they get underbid by companies that use unqualified labor, and knowing they're going to pay them below what they're supposed to pay them.
Okay. Sí, porque vamos a ver cómo el condado de Montgomery puede cooperar con esto, porque un ejemplo de lo que se nos está suscitando en el condado de Montgomery son compañías de construcción, ¿verdad?, que tienen los contratos para hacer ese desarrollo de infraestructura, que sí, que pagan los beneficios y que son responsables, pagan bien los salarios como debe de ser, reportan, pero también están aquellas empresas de que a la hora de apostar por los contratos, pues apostan menos y reciben los contratos y después no pagan los salarios.
Yes.
That's pretty much it. Okay, got it. Okay, entonces el condado de Montgomery, el ejecutivo se quiere asegurar precisamente de que la fuerza laboral de nuestro condado que trabaja a través de contratos del Estado reciban los beneficios que tienen que recibir y punto. Sí.
This should be simple.
Tan simple,
Yes.
tan simple, ¿verdad? Okay, perfecto. All right, so any other secretary that you met with?
I've had passing conversations with a few people. We've talked to a lot of people in the departments. You know, there are all these booths down here. So we've had conversations with Maryland Department of Energy about some programs they're just doing and some things they're modeling, and talked about the possibility of modeling of that on some county facilities. And also talked about ideas they have for where we can help find financing. So that was really helpful.
Okay, financing from the state?
From the state, or
Okay.
how you bundle state money and federal money, but basically to help us, to minimize local costs.
Ok, got it. Se ha estado reuniendo con personal, representantes de varios departamentos. Energía, recientemente un programa interesante que a lo mejor quizás se puede duplicar en el condado de Montgomery en cuanto a lo que son los facilities, right?
Yep.
Las estructuras, pero en términos de los contratos relacionados con energía, ¿cómo se puede colaborar con fondos, el Estado, el gobierno local y también el gobierno federal para que nos cueste menos a nosotros?
Yes.
Ustedes me ven que yo le hablo así en español y lo miro, que él apruebe que mi traducción está bien, porque es que él entiende el español bastante. Cuando yo hablo súper rápido, no, pero cuando yo hablo más despacio, me entiende bastante. Okay, so those are good things. Environment, near and dear. We did have a chat already with our new Department of Environmental Protection Director, Mr. Munger. He was here earlier today, and we had a chat about everything that is going on regarding the environment here. Yes, it was a really nice chat. We welcomed him officially to Montgomery County. When it comes to the environment, have you gone to any of the sessions? Have you had time? Because I know it's very busy for you here.
I was at the one about electrification.
I knew.
Which is something we're working on, and I've talked to a couple of people on the Public Service Commission. This is a very different Public Service Commission. It's much more oriented toward the public as opposed to the industry, which is good. So we've had some good talks with them about some of the work the county's trying to do with community choice energy, where the county's going to be could be the ultimate buyer of electricity in Montgomery County.
Okay.
So lots of good things there.
Ok, muchas cosas buenas. Le preguntaba si ha ido a algunas de las sesiones relacionadas con el medio ambiente, porque como ustedes saben, han habido muchas. Hemos también hablado con el nuevo director del Departamento de Protección Ambiental del Condado de Montgomery. Estuvo escuchando la charla sobre la electrificación. Esto quiere decir electrificar todos los componentes que tenemos dentro del hogar, en electrodomésticos, etcétera. También ha conversado con la Comisión de Servicio Público, que obviamente es una comisión nueva, según el Ejecutivo, más orientada a de verdad servir al público, y hablando sobre lo que se está llevando a cabo en el condado de Montgomery, que se llama el Community Choice Energy, que la comunidad tenga opciones para el consumo y la compra de energía, donde el condado de Montgomery se convertiría en el gran comprador de energía y después pues vender a los residentes a mejor precio.
That's what we're hoping, is we can negotiate better prices for everybody by using the buying power of the county to offer somebody this, it's 1.1 million people and all these businesses. Somebody ought to be willing to give a discount
to give a special discount, yes. ¿Verdad que sí? Por el volumen. Una de las ideas en términos de energía en el condado de Montgomery por parte del Ejecutivo es negociar con alguna empresa energía a descuentos, más barata, mejor adquisición, porque cuando después eso se la va a vender a 1.1 millón de habitantes que tenemos en el condado, pues obviamente a lo mejor podemos tener esa colectiva de energía y pagar menos. Because I'm home alone and I'm paying a lot, sir.
We're looking at a lot of things. Some of the other folks we talked with on the environmental front was about simplifying regulations regarding solar installations. I talked with people about waste disposal because
Which disposal?
Waste disposal, trash trucks.
Okay.
And about different ways that the county could dispose of its trash and in the process wind up with products that we could actually sell. Like we sell plastic and glass and metal right now. There are other things that we would be able to sell, and we get more of those things if we change the way we process waste.
Déjame traducir un poquito esto en términos del medio ambiente, también tratando de ver cómo se puede simplificar lo que es la instalación de energía solar, los paneles en casa. I would just need those energy panels to be a little smaller, because those big ones...
you would get less electricity.
Really? Not even the ones that are like the tiles for the roof?
That's different.
Oh, okay.
But then you got to take off, they're more expensive.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Take off the whole roof.
Sí.
But they do replace your tiles.
Sí, es diferente, es una tecnología diferente.
So if you're a homeowner and you're close to the point where you have to put a new roof on, they might make sense, because if you had to put on a new roof,
I just put a new roof on. I didn't.
So if you put a new roof on and then you put solar on, that may be more expensive than putting on a roof with the solar embedded in
Exactamente. Le hablaba otra de las cuestiones también de cómo deshacernos de los reciclajes también y de los residuos, porque ahorita el condado vende los productos que son de metal, de cristal o de plástico, pero cómo se pudieran otros productos vender también. Y le mencionaba el tema de los techos solares, los que son las losas más pequeñas, no las grandotas, que pueden ser un poco más caras, pero cuando las personas están listas para cambiar el techo de la casa, quizás eso pudiera ser una opción. So talking about electrification, and I believe that the new Secretary of Environment for Maryland, she is actually presenting in one of the sessions here, and you did meet with her already in Montgomery County. You guys had a one-to-one, a good chat. You rode in one of the buses. Was it electric?
I think it was.
Yeah, and you went to our recycling plant, I believe.
It's not really recycling. It's our solid waste plant.
It's solid waste.
Where we do some recycling.
Some recycling. Okay. So you've already initiated that contact with the state, because we do have ambitious goals in Montgomery County. Probably, are we the most ambitious when it comes to reuse and recycling in the environment in the county?
We're pretty close to that.
Okay.
But even as much as we do, we don't do enough, and that's what we're trying to take ourselves to the point where we really capture more of the things that have value. I mean, one of the things I'm looking at is how do you monetize the products that come out of the waste stream? How do you make more money off them? And trying to understand what the markets are and what we could do to enhance the value of our waste.
Okay.
So we're looking at this as entrepreneurially as possible to try to bring the cost down.
Con un punto de vista más empresarial que gubernamental, hacemos mucho en el condado de Montgomery. Somos muy ambiciosos en cuanto a lo que es capturar el valor de los desechos, de las cosas, los productos que pueden ser reciclados, reutilizados, pero de lo que sale de la basura, básicamente. Entonces la perspectiva es monetarizar, buscar la manera de poder vender más artículos que pueden ser reutilizados.
Yes.
And is there a market? Is there a global market for that today?
So some
Yes.
things have growing markets. Some things the market's better when you do a higher level of separation. So right now we take plastic in, and the
Está en la
plastic.
separación. The key is on the separation.
Yeah.
Okay, en la separación. I'm learning. This is
So,
great.
so we bring in plastic from recycling, and we don't do anything then but separate it and then put it on pallets and crush it, and we sell it to people as, here's plastic bottles, and we smush them all up, which is fine.
Okay.
But if we were to separate the plastic by color and type, then it has more value because there are people who need particular types of plastic. So you do the separation, you get more value for it. If you take the plastic and if you shred it and wash it, you get more value for it.
Got it.
So
Okay.
we're trying to figure out, is the value worth the investment? And if,
Claro.
the value generates more revenue than the cost of installing it,
Si el valor
then we should do it.
justifica la inversión. Esto es un tema bien interesante, o sea, es para una conversación bastante amplia, pero obviamente sí hay mercados que se están ampliando a nivel global en términos de comprar nuestros desechos reciclables. Y la clave está en la separación. Aquí él me está educando, estoy aprendiendo mucho con él en este momento, que por ejemplo nosotros en el condado los plásticos, pues todos los ponemos en los pallets, y los aplastamos y los vendemos. Ahora, si se tomara el tiempo de separarlos por color, por tipo, por calidad, pues ese plástico tiene aún más valor porque se pueden vender a mercados específicos. Ahora, lo que tiene que considerar el ejecutivo,
You're doing good.
ay, gracias, es si el valor que se va a recibir por esa venta va a justificar la inversión del proceso de dividir para vender a diferentes mercados. Okay? Fabuloso. Okay. Okay. Well, so how can I help you as a county resident to separate?
So, but this is where the more people do, the less at the end of the day it's going to cost us.
Of course.
So, we want everybody to be doing recycling and doing it right. If you mix things up, then it makes it very hard and it winds up, costing us more money to separate things that that should have been separated. We're going to go to food composting in the next year.
Okay.
It's going to be mandatory. And we're going to go to a new trash system that you'll basically pay by the weight or the size or volume of your trash. So the more...
Like me, I would pay for my trash?
Well, everybody pays for their trash.
Okay, I already paid my tax bill, but I would be paying extra?
No, well, we don't know that. What we're trying to do is get as much of it separated as possible.
Okay.
So that what is general waste, which is the hardest for us to deal with, if the smaller that is, the less expensive it's going to be to dispose of it.
Sí, es un ciclo. Acá, vamos a ver. Mientras más nosotros, como residentes del condado, yo digo yo porque yo vivo también en el condado de Montgomery, soy residente, separemos nuestros artículos reciclables. Ustedes saben del tacho ese azulito que todos tenemos. Evitamos la mezcla. Esto ayuda al final de la jornada al condado a ahorrar porque tienen que desmezclar menos. Cuesta más el separar por parte de nosotros en el condado de Montgomery. En aproximadamente un año va a ser mandatorio el compostar comida for everybody, businesses and me at home.
Yep.
I kind of do it already. I use
I do.
stuff already and I use it in the garden and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. El compostar va a ser obligatorio para nosotros y el tema de la basura general quizás se le va a añadir un cargo, eso va a costar un poquito más, porque la idea es de aligerar la basura general, porque es mucha la basura general.
Yes. Because
Okay.
people don't separate.
Porque las personas no separan, entonces nos vamos a ver todos involucrados en la misión de separar comida, Sí, el plástico, las botellas, el
Cardboard.
metal. Exacto. Y el Departamento de Protección Ambiental ha estado llevando a cabo una campaña educativa sobre precisamente qué es lo correcto de reciclar, qué va en la basura y qué no va en la basura. Todas estas normas, obviamente, en miras de la protección de nuestro medio ambiente. Okay, another important topic that it's been addressed here has been cannabis. It's an industry.
Yep.
It's something that jurisdictions at the local level throughout the state are dealing new for us. It's just, over a month?
Yeah.
Everybody's learning along the way, I guess. We need more regulations. We need to figure things out. We need to know money that jurisdictions are going to get. We need to wait and see how we're going to deal with a health impact, law enforcement, all of that.
Yes.
So, el cannabis es un tema nuevo porque obviamente la marihuana recreacional quedó pues legalizada en nuestro estado para los adultos mayores de 21 años, entró en vigor el pasado 1 de julio y es algo que aún las autoridades locales, inclusive el estado, pues están navegando cómo va a impactar esto la salud, el trabajo de los agentes de la ley, los fondos, cómo los vamos a recibir, todas esas cosas. What kind of conversations or have you had regarding that particular topic, especially money coming to Montgomery County?
So we don't know how much we're going to get yet.
No,
because
no se
that
sabe.
depends on what the sales are.
Bueno, sabemos que el primer mes fueron 87 millones.
Yes, they made a lot of money.
There's been a lot of money, at least the first month. Okay.
Yes, but all that's not ours.
No,
So,
no. We wish, but no.
you know, people need to understand where you can smoke, where you can't smoke. You're not going to be able to smoke in a bar. You can't smoke cigarettes in a bar. You're not going to be able to smoke marijuana in a bar. They're not going to serve you homemade edibles, in other words, out of their kitchens. Though they can sell them for retail, they cannot sell them for consumption on site. So it's very interesting. The law is complicated, and we're going to have to negotiate or navigate our way through the complications. But at the end of the day, there will be revenues for the county. If I had succeeded in getting the authority to do this with county stores rather than private stores, we would have made a lot more money for Montgomery County, which we could have invested in all these mental health needs we have. But instead, we're going to get a portion of the taxes that the state collects, which is going to be a lot smaller pot of money.
Okay.
All that said, it's
How much do you think? Do you have a figure somewhere?
we've got no figure.
No
It's-
figure whatsoever. Okay. El dinero que genera la venta de estos productos de cannabis, la venta de la marihuana legal, en realidad no se sabe cuánto va a recibir el condado de Montgomery. Y lo importante es que las personas deben de comprender de que esto no se puede fumar, consumir en público. Un bar no le vende a usted cigarrillos, usted no puede fumar cigarrillo regular en un bar, tampoco lo va a poder hacer con la marihuana. Los productos que se ingieren, que son de cannabis, pues usted sabe que eso no va a salir de una cocina común y corriente, es una ley complicada, la cual nos toca navegar. Y en cuanto a fondos para el condado de Montgomery, verdaderamente no se sabe. Algo que quería el Ejecutivo es que las tiendas de ventas pues fueran del condado, kind of like the ABS, like
Yes.
the liquor stores, más o menos como las tiendas de venta de alcohol en el condado de Montgomery, pero no, son privadas y aún no se sabe qué cantidad de la porción de los impuestos de esta venta va a recibir el condado de Montgomery. Once you know how much you're getting, and you get it,
Yep.
and the county gets it, where is that going to go? What do you foresee those funds going to?
I think it's going to help us augment our mental health
Mental health?
and our public health work because
Okay.
we have this mental health crisis. The counties and the state aren't prepared for it, and we're just even maintaining social workers and psychiatrists has been challenging. Filling those positions. So hopefully this will give us more resources to hire more people, to make sure that we're paying what we should be paying to get people to go
Okay.
into these professions.
All right. Le preguntaba que una vez que se sepa cuándo el condado va a recibir fondos de la venta de la marihuana legal, ¿a dónde van a ir esos recursos? Pues prioridad, salud pública, servicios de salud mental. Tenemos una crisis existente para la cual no estamos preparados, y definitivamente estos fondos para pagarle bien y poder contratar y retener psiquiatras y trabajadores sociales para darle frente precisamente a esta crisis que tenemos. Thank you for bringing us and the other podcast. So we love the work that we did here today and the last few days. So ya saben, para más información siempre Montgomery County md.gov o si no, llame al 311. Gracias, señor ejecutivo.
Excellent.
Excelente.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Y hasta aquí su